Live from WSLS, this is 10 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, a South Side success.
We are happy to welcome Tyson to our region.
The investment making one rural area even better than before. Plus,
the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration released their outlook for the winter season. We're going to break down that forecast coming up.
Cost concerns.
Everywhere I go, gas station, grocery store, restaurants, the whole shebang.
The struggles many are facing due to inflation.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Brittany McGraw.
I'm Jenna Zibden. John is off. Scattered showers are moving across the region tonight ahead of another cold front.
Meteorologist Delaney Worden is here to show us what to expect. And it seemed like about mid-afternoon, that is when some clouds started to roll in and that possibility for some rain.
Absolutely. And we do have one stray shower that's made its way into our area, moving throughout the Roanoke Valley at this point. But I want to give you a broader view first of this line of rain that we still have off to our west. And that is going to be our main line for later on tonight. This is pushing off towards the east. Yes, it's brought a lot of cloud cover as we've gone throughout the day. We're still seeing a few hints of sunshine, but a little bit closer look back here at home. That rain forming earlier back towards the New River Valley. It's only become a little bit more widespread, a little bit more organized here recently. A little bit closer look at that. Mostly light rain, but you do see some of those oranges and reds indicating the heavier rainfall. And unfortunately, this is really focused along that 81 corridor at this point. So if you're going to be traveling for this evening, perhaps you're going out to dinner, something to take note of. Make sure you give yourself some extra time before heading out the door and a little bit of room in between you and the car in front of you. But we'll take a little bit closer look at what else this cold front brings coming up. Brittany.
A big breaking development tonight. The FBI just confirmed the remains found in a Florida reserve yesterday belonged to Brian Laundrie. They used dental records to confirm the identity. He had been missing for more than a month and was considered a person of interest in the death of his fiancée, Gabby Petito. Of course, huge development in this case, and we will continue to follow the latest. Have the latest tonight at 11 and on WSLS.com.
A Roanoke man accused of killing a high school student is free tonight, and many are questioning the verdict. A jury found DeMarcus Glenn not guilty on 4 felony charges. Witnesses testified that he shot 16-year-old Tyler Palumbo during a drug deal on Denniston Avenue in 2019. We took concerns made on social media regarding the legal process in this case to the Commonwealth attorney, who says the jury followed their guidelines.
He maintained that the deceased drew a gun on him, and that's why he fired. So the jury had to wrestle with that question, and obviously they weren't convinced beyond a reasonable doubt.
Caldwell adds that juries are often tasked with difficult questions, and his office fully accepted their decision.
Dozens gathered today to celebrate the groundbreaking of a Tyson Foods facility in Southside. State and local leaders are calling this a success story. 10 News reporter Courtney Lockie is working for you to break down the opportunities it will bring.
Governor Ralph Northam has made the trip to Danville, Pittsylvania County 3 times within the last half year on Thursday to celebrate the largest capital investment in the area's history.
Toss it.
Call it a comeback.
Nobody around here complained. You picked yourself up, dusted yourself off, and brought jobs back to this area, and that's what it's all about.
Governor Ralph Northam is talking about the day IKEA closed its facility in the King Creek Center. Within the next 2 years, several projects filled its place, bringing thousands of new jobs and millions in investments, including...
We are happy to welcome Tyson to our region.
The nation's largest protein company is investing $300 million to build its 3rd facility in Virginia.
That's 376 families that have a better livelihood, that can put presents under the Christmas tree. That's the thing that we always have to focus our economic development thinking around.
Developers were competing for the project with a region in North Carolina. Tyson's team decided the 325,000 square foot facility will go in Cane Creek Center Industrial Park.
For those of us that grew up in rural Virginia, oftentimes there's a feeling that you have to move away from home, but it's nice when you don't have to do that and you can stay and make your community stronger.
Tyson Foods will buy more than 60 million pounds of locally grown meat over the next 3 years, furthering the success of agriculture in the state and the partnership between Danville and Pittsylvania County.
As long as we can continue to train the workforce, companies will continue to do well in Virginia.
Construction is expected to start within the next few months and to be finished by early 2023. In Danville, Courtney Lockey, 10 News working for you.
Today marked the first vaccine clinic linked to the Roanoke Valley hepatitis A outbreak. There have been more than 40 cases, including one death, associated with 3 Famous Anthony's locations. Several people involved are now suing the restaurant chain. The health department is holding another vaccine clinic tomorrow on Williamson Road. It runs from 8:30 to 11:30 in the morning and then 1 to 4 in the afternoon. No appointments are necessary.
A common produce item at the grocery store is believed to be the cause of a salmonella outbreak in 37 states. As you can see from this map here, that includes Virginia. The CDC says nearly 60 people across the Commonwealth have gotten sick eating fresh, whole, red, white, and yellow onions imported from Chihuahua, Mexico. We're told they were distributed by ProSource, so make sure you check the ones in your home and throw them away, then wash any surface they touched.
Supply and demand, that's what's driving inflation on everything from gas to produce. 10 News reporter Tim Harfman is working for you to learn how these cost concerns are impacting people in our area and how long we could expect it to last.
You may notice inflation as you're dishing out more money every time you step outside.
Everywhere I go, gas station, grocery store, restaurants, the whole shebang.
Trying to stretch foods and like grocery trips longer in between just because, trying to save money.
The Consumer Price Index climbed 5.4% in September compared to this time last year. Experts say the inflation is a result of supply chain issues and a demand from the pandemic.
It's not really because of the pandemic, but the increased demand is because the pandemic seems to be getting better and we're starting to see demand rise to the pre-pandemic level. So we're feeling a double whammy.
At Grain of Sense in Lynchburg, owner Tom Heyman says his costs increased 15% and his concerns for serving supplies are brewing.
Trying to find brand new plastic bottles has been challenging. We've been waiting since September for glass bottles that we use for our cold brew that we serve here. So we've been forced to use plastic cups, which are in short supply.
Inflation is pushing pump prices too. AAA says drivers are paying some of the highest rates since 2014. The main factor, demand for crude oil, which makes up 50 to 60% of what you pay.
Right now, crude's selling for above $80 a barrel. Back in August, it was selling for right around $60 a barrel. A year ago at this time, in a very different world, it was selling for about $40 a barrel.
And inflation is expected to continue through the holidays.
I don't see it getting any better. Especially because demand will go up during that time frame and supply doesn't seem to be getting any better.
In Lynchburg, Tim Harfman, 10 News, working for you.
A reminder as Virginia Tech prepares to face off against Syracuse, today school leaders sent a message to the community asking for another positive game day experience. Student attendance at Lane Stadium will once again be limited Saturday due to the new protocols put in place last week. The university says after concerns about inappropriate behavior, these changes made a big difference during the game against Pittsburgh.
A return to the home place while you'll be able to go back to the restaurant, even though you won't be able to enjoy its family-style food. Plus,
surprise!
A grand prize winner, the special honor going to a local teacher. A special surprise for an automotive and diesel technology teacher at Salem High School.
Today, he was recognized as one of Harbor Freight Tools for Schools grand prize winners for teaching excellence.
10 News photojournalist Greg Moore shows us how he's being honored in tonight's Feel Good story.
Not every day that educators get to experience $70,000 for their program, $30,000 for them personally. Hello, Derek, Rick. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, so excited to be here today.
For me, this opens up doors for my students. I mean, that's really what I'm looking forward to the most, is what it's going to do for them. So that's why I get out of bed in the morning and come here.
There are 18 presentations just like this going on around the United States.
Him being there is
I mean, it's been one of the most important things that could have happened in my life. I've never looked forward to being in a class more than being in this one. I really, really look up to him.
The human side of Mr. Ray talks to you about what kind of person that you want to be.
As a teacher, I look up to him as a teacher. But as a person, I almost look up to him as a father.
It's more rewarding than money, really. It's just, I go home fulfilled. This is going to go really far for us. So this is going to help my automotive students, my diesel students, the people that see this, and they can reach out to us and say, we're looking to hire some students too. And so that's huge. It's going to open a lot of doors.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's huge.
He wants to use the money to buy a Tesla.
That's because he hopes to teach kids how to work on what he believes are the electric cars of the future.
Your local weather authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration released their update on what they're expecting to happen for the winter of 2021 into 2022. And we are looking to see average to maybe just below average precipitation. That doesn't sound so bad if you are wanting snow. However, putting a damper on that are the above average temperatures that we are expecting as we go throughout the winter months. So that's certainly going to maybe ruin any winter systems that could bring snow to our area. We may actually just see a lot of clippers, unfortunately. Now, we have already been staying warm throughout the year, and in fact, October also. Only 2 days where our temperatures have been below average. The rest we have been at or above average. Some days significantly, even like today, close to 10 degrees above average. Current radar showing that rain that formed back towards the New River Valley has been pushing off towards the northeast. It's moving at a pretty good pace, maybe about 20-25 miles per hour. Overall, we are seeing a lot more heavier rain embedded within this cell than we were when it initially formed. This is continuing to track pretty parallel to that 81 corridor, making its way just to the north of Bedford. We'll continue to watch this here over the next few hours. We're not tracking anything in the way of severe weather, but we still hold on to that potential for some more rain as we head throughout the next few hours, most of which will be focused west of the Parkway. That's not to say that you won't see a few isolated showers back towards central along with south side. However, the best chance will be staying further towards the west because those rain showers are just going to have a harder time holding together the further east that they do travel. Starting our Friday off, and as we go throughout the day, we're going to be seeing a mixture of sunshine and cloud cover. Overall, not too bad. Temperatures are going to be running cooler. That's not the case for tonight, though, because we're going to have more cloud cover around and that rain around. We're actually going to see those temperatures running significantly warmer than what we started our day off with today. Mostly 50s across the board, 60 back towards South Boston, 49 over in Wytheville. And then for tomorrow afternoon, our temperatures are going to be into the 60s. So we're looking at about a 10-degree temperature drop from what we saw for today. Breezy at times. Overall, nothing too significant. We're not talking about those winds that we dealt with over this past weekend. Getting ready for some Friday night football. Our temperatures are going to be pretty slow to drop, but we are going to be again chillier. Those temperatures are into the mid to upper 50s by 9 p.m. So what you'll need, you may want a long sleeve shirt, jacket. That depends on if you get cold easily. We're not going to be tracking any rain or don't have to worry about any of that wind again by that point. This weekend really looking fantastic. If you want to get outside, start making those plans. Here's what we're looking at. 60s for tomorrow along with Saturday. From there, we are warming back up to the mid 70s, but only briefly. Yet another cold front pushing through that's going to drop us right back to the 60s by Tuesday. Appy?
All right, Delaney, one of the nation's most sought-after football talents makes his college decision in Lynchburg tonight. We'll tell you about that. And Liberty, what they're saying about trying to rebound from that nightmare trip to Louisiana. Sports is next.
And now, the Freedom First Sports Desk with John Appicello.
All right, one of the top offensive tackles in the nation in the 2022 recruiting cycle, Zach Rice of Liberty Christian Academy, will be making his college choice tonight. The consensus 5-star has 5 finalists: Alabama, North Carolina, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Virginia. And oh, by the way, the big fella is 6'6", 282, and his team, the Bulldogs of LCA, currently undefeated and the top team in Region 3C of the VHSL. Rice is slated to play in the Under Armour All-American game after the season. Another week to take on 10. Get your picks in. I've got the Colts. Brooke's been red hot. She's got the Fins tonight. Browns over the Broncos for Eric. Freedom First has been doing the job. Brent taking the Raiders. Mr. Dixon going Saints over the Seahawks. The overall leader has the Broncos tonight. We'll keep an eye on that one. 1st and 10 scheduling. Martinsville-Tunstall moves to Monday. Winner go play golf for the Dodgers tonight. And Washington's got 3 skilled players they need back at practice.
Coming up on NBC Nightly News, just how much the U.S. depends on imported chips.
Well, you may be surprised to find out how long the shortage could last. That's next. Then we'll see you back here at 7.